Recently, an unprecedented gathering of federal, state, county, and local officials met first in a lengthy roundtable discussion, then a press conference with the media. The topic, wildfire. Wildfire preparedness and steps you should take to protect your family and your home.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Ken Tibot. I chair El Dorado County's coordination group for wildfire preparedness and resilience. That group is a collection of firefighting, fire prevention agencies and organizations, or community grassroots groups like fire safe councils, who are all instrumental in wildfire preparedness in El Dorado County. Today, we've spent the last 2 hours meeting as a roundtable with state, local, and federal leadership and community members to talk about what El Dorado County, collectively, all of the partners are doing to make the county more prepared for wildfire. We know we've experienced devastating wildfires here in the county over the last several decades, and the next one we know is coming. We just don't know when. So today's discussion is all about our partnerships and what we can do to continue to move those efforts forward together. So today I'd like to introduce several of our speakers, but we'd like to start off with Chief Daniel Berlant. He's California's State Fire Marshal. Chief Berlant.
Great, thank you, Ken, and good morning. I guess good afternoon. As Ken mentioned, I'm the California State Fire Marshal. It is absolutely my pleasure to be here with you in El Dorado County on behalf of Director and Fire Chief Joe Tyler and the men and women of CAL FIRE. This has been an important conversation because while we are not yet even into the first month fully of spring, our fire year has already been off to a significant start. Obviously, the fires in LA have made headlines, but in reality, across the state, our crews have responded to over 600 wildfires to date. It's not lost on me, though, that we are here in a county that has overcome so much from wildfires in really the last decade, from the King Fire in 2014 to the Caldor Fire. And I truly want to applaud the Board of Supervisors and the staff at El Dorado County to really being a role model in wildfire preparedness. I get the opportunity to work with counties up and down the state, and El Dorado County has really done an amazing job of bringing all of the partners together, local, state, federal, and tribal. And that is the important piece of this. While we are in an immense wildfire crisis that is only going to get worse here in California, we have to have a strategy that is consistent. We have to be doing all of the same things. Now, for us, our wildfire strategy comes from the state's Wildfire and Forest Resilience Action Plan, 99 key actions that we have been working towards measurable change, but it really is focused in three key areas. Community hardening, that is creating defensible space, including the new Zone Zero in that first 5 feet around homes, combined with home hardening, retrofits, or building construction materials. Our data from the wildfires, including down in LA, and the research we have done has shown that homes have a double-digit increase percentage of surviving a wildfire if they have home hardening with defensible space, including Zone Zero. But we have to move beyond just the community. We have to ensure that our forests are healthy, that our ecosystems are restored. Our forests in California are overgrown. They are drought-stricken in many areas. And we have significant extreme mortality. So we've got to continue to do more in the forest health space. And then lastly, our response. We have made significant investments, thanks to the legislature and the governor, in our resources, our firefighters, our fire engines, replacement of our helicopter fleet to new Firehawk helicopters, and adding additional helicopters. We're in the process of rolling out our C-130 air tankers to again augment. So more resources, more technology, more firefighters on the ground. But the truth is, we're not going to respond our way out of this crisis. We've got to double down on the efforts in wildfire mitigation, and that starts again at home. We need homeowners in El Dorado County, but really across the state, to be ensuring they've got defensible space. Now is the time, before things dry out further, to ensure that any dead or dying vegetation, leaves, pine needles, anything that has fallen on the ground, that is moved back 100 feet, and then zero in on this new Zone Zero, 5-foot zone around the home of nothing combustible. Removing plants or vegetation, bark or mulch. That may not be easy, but we need to make sure that we don't have combustible items right up to homes. LA Fires only reiterated that embers can travel a mile ahead of a fire, even more, land on these combustible items, ignite that item on fire, including plants, rose bushes, and others, and then it spreads to the home, taking down the home. And so we need to ensure that we have the Zone Zero implemented as part of our overall defensible space plans. We've got great resources on our website, readyforwildfire.org. That's where homeowners can find more information on how to prepare themselves, their family, and their home for the upcoming peak fire season. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Deputy Insurance Commissioner Michael Soller for more information on the work that we've been doing in aligning wildfire mitigation with insurance, the Department of Insurance.
Thank you, Chief Berland. I'm Michael Soller, Deputy Insurance Commissioner, California Department of Insurance. Wildfire safety is at the center of everything we're doing, everything we talked about today at the Department of Insurance, at CAL FIRE, here at the county. It's inspiring to hear all of these folks behind us united in one goal, which is to make our communities safer. And I want to talk for just a minute about, we know that folks are afraid. They're afraid of are they going to be able to get insurance? Are they going to be able to afford insurance? And are they going to be able to protect their homes? For many people, this is their largest investment. And so our goal at the Department of Insurance is really to do what needs to be done here in El Dorado County to bring insurance companies back, to address this insurance crisis. So I need to, sort of underscore this, but the reality is that unlike utilities, insurance companies are free to choose where they write and what policies they write. And what that means is that more and more, they're pulling back from communities like El Dorado. And that's sending more people to the California Fair Plan, which is more expensive coverage, limited coverage. And that's a problem. It's a problem for folks here. It's a problem everywhere. So the Department of Insurance has implemented new regulations. We're putting those into effect right now that are going to bring insurance companies back. We talked some about that today. Again, if insurance companies want to do business here, they need to be taking policies out of the Fair Plan. They need to be writing these homes. And we need to be doing our part to make our homes safer. And I think the real hope here, we talked about the fear that people have, but the real hope here is that all of these folks behind me, we are all speaking the same language for the first time in many decades. We all are working towards a safer from wildfire strategy. That means knowing what you can do to protect your home in a simple set of steps and taking those actions. And if you take those actions, you can get an insurance discount. You can get money back in your pocket. You can get grant funds from the state. Commissioner Lara is supporting legislation at the state level, that the California Safe Homes Act, that would actually create a grant program to fund the exact work that Chief Berland says is necessary. The 0 to 5 feet, hardening your roof, and doing it at a community scale. We know there's a lot you can do to protect your home, but if you and your neighbors work together, that's how we really bring down the risk, and that's how we protect communities at a community-wide scale. And I want to just mention too, there's legislation and opportunities not just at the local level, the state level, but even at the federal level to support this work. There's bipartisan legislation in Congress right now. It's authored by two Congress members from California, a Republican and a Democrat, that would put money in people's pockets. Again, $10,000 grants, tax-free for people. So there's things that can happen at all levels in a bipartisan way. And I think events like this just show what's possible and also how much work we need to do. With that, I want to turn it over to Supervisor Turnbull and just thank him for his leadership here in El Dorado through the work you're doing in really protecting. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Up a little bit. Can you hear me all right now? My name is George Turnbull. I'm the supervisor, District 2 supervisor, and also the chair of the Board of Supervisors. On Tuesday, the Board of Supervisors adopted a proclamation announcing the start of Wildfire Awareness Month, an awareness season. The calendar doesn't care about wildfires. they can start at any time. Our residents in Grizzlies Flat are still suffering from the Caldor fire. We have to work together from the federal and state and local agencies to be able to solve this problem. We have to work with the Department of Insurance to make insurance available and affordable and sustainable. We need to provide resources to our residents to help reduce the risk of wildfire to their property. Everyone has a part to play, especially when times are tough. So thank you for being here today. El Dorado County is very dear to my heart, especially when I make generation. So I just want to thank you for being here, and we're working together with all these different agencies to resolve the problem in El Dorado County. Sorry about that. So I'm going to introduce Tamara Johnston from Georgetown Fire Safe Council. I'm going to step up.
Is that working? Yeah. So I'm the chair of the Georgetown Divide Fire Safe Council, which is a large rural fire safe council up on the northern part of the county. And I'm speaking from the perspective of the volunteer fire safe councils. We're working to change the culture around wildfire in our county. We're encouraging residents to take responsibility to do their own home hardening in their defensible space, and to also care about creating wildfire resilience for the larger community beyond their backyard. So really creating this culture of we're all in this together. This neighbor to neighbor grassroots nature of what we do is probably the most important way we can kind of change this culture around wildfire. We know that people trust their friends and neighbors more than they do government. I can't tell you how many times with our fuel reduction projects that landowners say they don't want the government on their property. But when they find out it's a fire safe council project being done by their neighbors, then they change their tune and they'll sign those right of entry forms. So it's absolutely essential that as neighbors, we're sending that message so that we can get this work done. We're also changing the culture through our volunteer home assessment program, where we'll go out and spend a couple hours with homeowners, educating them on what they can do to harden their home and do defensible space. These are all volunteers that spend 2 days in a training to learn how to do these assessments, and then they go out and spend hours and hours helping their friends and neighbors figure out learn what they can do. And then we also do outreach and education events. For example, tomorrow, the Georgetown Divide Fire Safe Council, in collaboration with the Georgetown Fire District and the Garden Valley Fire District, we're putting on a big wildfire expo in Georgetown to educate people on how to give them knowledge and preparation on wildfire. And I just want to finish up with what I like about working in this space is that wildfire is not political. Wildfires cross all political boundaries, and it's a way that everybody can come together regardless of their political persuasions and work together. And I just find that a really optimistic and kind of heartening way of doing community work.
Thank you, Tamara, and all of the speakers. We have just a couple of minutes where we can take some question and answer before we wrap up. The speakers can answer those relative to wildfire preparedness in El Dorado County.
So I have a quick question. Just when it comes to the home hardening, can you, I guess, explain a little bit more about what that is and I guess how people can begin to take those steps?
Absolutely. So the question is about home hardening and how we can take steps, homeowners can take steps to improve that. I'm going to turn that over to Chief Benoit.
That's a great question. Home hardening has been a term that has really gained popularity in the last couple of years, but in reality, since 2008, we have required new homes in wildfire-prone areas to be built out of construction materials that are more ember and ignition resistant. But home hardening, and again, used more frequently, is really about the retrofitting. And so that can include anything from ensuring that your roof is made of a material like a Class A roof that is non-combustible, having screens over your vents, having double pane windows, both that are tempered. So whether it's the siding, the windows, the roof, all of the construction materials of the home itself, we want them to be made in wildfire prone areas, that is, be made of materials that can be more resistant to wildfires. And I said this earlier, but homes that are hardened have a double-digit % increase of surviving wildfires. And so the data shows us that defensible space in combination with home hardening is really important. We have a lot of great resources because it can be kind of overwhelming of what do I do? Where do I start? And we have some tools on our website where homeowners can take a full assessment to figure out what areas and what retrofits should they take to give them the most highest increase of helpful in reducing their overall risk. But again, home hardening is the materials that you build your home or retrofit your home. We also have a low-cost retrofit list. We recognize that not everybody can afford to do this work. And so with our low-cost retrofit list, we have really easy items that homeowners can take. But the state has also been piloting a project where we've invested over $100 million leveraged with federal dollars to actually provide assistance, financial assistance to California's most vulnerable, those who cannot physically do this work and afford to do this work. And we're really excited that El Dorado County has agreed to be one of our partners. And so they are one of our pilots where we will again be working with the county, with the residents to provide upwards of $40,000 to $50,000 to help vulnerable residents here in El Dorado County get their homes hardened.
Thank you, Chief Berlant. As Supervisor Turnbull mentioned, wildfire awareness season occurs here in El Dorado County from April through October. There are a number of events that will be occurring throughout the summer and early fall months. So I would encourage everyone to go to the El Dorado County's Office of Wildfire Preparedness and Resilience, or OWAPR for short. Go to that website. There are links to all of the activities that will be occurring, but also critical links to the fire safe councils and all of the agency and organizational partners behind us here. Really appreciate and thank you all for taking the time to come out today. All of the organizations have indicated they'll be available for individual one-on-ones if folks are interested. So please engage them when we're done. Again, thank you all for being here today, and thank you to all of the partners for engaging in this critical space here in El Dorado County. Thank you.